Welcome to episode 3, guys. I'm so excited to have you here. I first want to start off with thanking you guys for the utmost support. I mean, I have felt so loved during this process of launching the podcast, and I just hope to keep you here listening. And now I get to bring in some of my favorite people. Like I said, I'll bring in more of my collection of people. Today I have my dear friend, Nikki. She is just such a light in all of the ways. She's also such a leader in my life on a spiritual level and on a health level. And we have experienced a lot of the same things with our bodies and with spirituality and our bodies failing us, but then rebirth. And I'm just so happy to have her here. And thanks for just being my light, my total light in that way.
And thank you for being a reflection of my light. And I feel your light.
Amen to that.
What you see in me is what I see in you, and vice versa.
Which is why we're friends. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
No, I'm so happy to have you because it's been a long time, I feel, since we've seen each other and like been together.
Yeah.
In person.
Yes.
Right? I feel like so often we get caught up in the social media world and we get to like chat on social media, but we never see each other in person.
Yes.
So I love seeing you. I love seeing you happy and healthy and glowing.
Thank you.
And
a big deep breath when you say that. I think we should take an inhale and just exhale.
So good.
And just
You're
come
so
to
my
center.
person for that. Yeah. Welcome back.
Honestly, I literally feel like I had a rebirth. And I have it on my computer at home. I have a note that says, God, you saved me. Oof. I feel saved. I literally feel saved.
Wow.
I'm here. Being here, for me, it's redemption. Every moment of my day right now, it's redemption. Wow. Surreal.
I think that's where we relate so much. Yeah, I just feel like when you say redemption, it's so big in so many ways because I feel like we both we had our drowning moment. I think that's the word I would use, like drowning, like where you feel like you can't get out. You feel like you're swimming, but you can't get out and that you don't see the light, right?
No, at all.
At all. And then all of a sudden you get out of the freaking water and you see the sun again.
You see the sun again. And you grow from the sun.
You grow from the sun and you get all the vitamins and the nutrients again. And like you start little by little, you start seeing life and being like, wow, I'm here.
100%.
Like we made it. Like we made it. Like we were, like you said, rebirth. Like
rebirth.
A total, just like life again. And we deserve to be here. It's another thing, you know?
We all do.
You know, I want to talk about that. I want to go into that. And I know that it's hard for us.
Yeah.
We're both very sensitive people. So if there's ever a moment where you're like, I can't go into that because, you know, we talk about that a lot, which is like that when you're in like a really bad space with how sensitive we are to energy and everything like that.
Right.
You feel like it could go back there. It's almost
100%.
like a traumatic moment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start by just saying that there was a moment where Nikki had reached out to me during a really crucial time, hard time for her.
Yeah.
And I was still going through that tough time for me, that really dark space of, I feel like there's like a worse word for depression. That's where I was, where it was like, I just didn't know if I could come out of it. Right. I didn't know if I could get out of it. And you were just starting that phase. And I was like, I can't talk to you because I could fall back there so easily.
Totally.
So quickly.
Yeah.
And the other day when I saw you and you were just this light, you know, this light again. I want to say again. I feel like your light was off and you were this light again. And I'm like, I could talk to you again. And I'm going to say it again. I want to say sorry that I couldn't be that person when you called me.
Yeah. There's no sorry. There's no attachment to the outcome once you've gone through something so hard.
Yeah.
On the other side of going through something hard, you realize that you can only save yourself.
So big.
And
so true. With God.
I didn't think I would be emotional, but there's no expectation from anybody in my life, even those who I thought would 1000% have my back and push me where I need to be. I don't expect anything from them anymore because I have every single thing I need inside. I was born with everything that Hashem and the universe know that I need to get through what I signed up for.
And I need to go into that because for those of you that don't know Nikki, like if there's a word for her, it's perseverance in like the utmost respect, because I want you to go into your childhood. Like you lost both of your parents. You have no siblings. Like go into that for me. Tell me who you are.
Yeah, sure. So that's why we connected originally, because on my screensaver of my phone, I identified myself as a person who lost their parents. Like that's who I was. You know, people would meet me. I'm like, oh, I have no family. So on my phone, I had a screensaver that said protected by angels. Someone posted you, angel watching over me. And I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Did she lose someone? Am I not alone? Everyone that I know, all my friends, they have parents, they have family, they have support systems. I've been a pioneer on my own through this world since I'm like around 18. I lost my dad. And my mom wasn't around very often, but I did see her in my childhood. And I lost her 6 years ago. She is now like my biggest angel. And I feel her every day, in every way. But when I saw your post, I reached out to you immediately. I don't know if you remember this. It was 2019. I sent you a direct message on Instagram and I said, look at my screensaver. And you go, that's amazing. I'm having a girls' dinner. Just the typical Sarah, like, be a part of like, come share energy, you know, let me get you together with other people. So I went to the girls' dinner. That's how we met.
Wow.
And when I left, I remember I got on Instagram and it was like 9:30 at night. I'm leaving Coral Gables and I was filming myself. And I told everyone on my platform, there were two things about that night that I needed more of. Your energy and to know myself enough to get on a stage and take a mic like you gave me the opportunity to do and share my light. So this is full circle right now being here in this moment because you initially gave me a mic and you're giving me one again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so big. And it's so crazy to think that it started from a dinner.
Yeah.
And then how much influence you have on me as a person, as a whole. Like when I watch your stories or when I just listen to you, there's so much guidance in your energy, your aura, and also the knowledge you provide on health.
Amen.
And I think that is such a big thing. Like right now I'm fixing my skin for melasma and you're like, don't use the topical creams, like fix your liver. And I'm like, I love this. Like I love that you have so much knowledge on how food is such medicine.
Totally.
And that for me is why, like, you know, you always say you want to surround yourself with people that know more than you in some way, shape, or form. You're my person for that.
Thank you.
You know, and what's crazy though is like the way that your health depleted.
And that's what's so heartbreaking. I was doing all of the things. I was biohacking the absolute crap out of myself. The sauna, the binders, the colonics every month, you know, the dry brushing, the rebounding, plant-based lifestyle, but I would incorporate, you know, some fish and some like liver supplements here and there. All the supplements, I was green juicing, I was staying away from caffeine, you name it, I was doing it. I was going acupuncture, I was doing all the lymphatic massage every 2 weeks. I was doing everything that I could get my hands on. I had religiously read books of every wellness guru that there was. And one night I woke up, my whole life changed. And it's been almost 2 years now. I will never be the same person again, ever. In the last 2 years, I've been really unwell. I can say now that I'm not fully healed, but I am better in certain ways than I have ever been. And I went to doctors, I went to rabbis, I went to energy healers. And aside from the doctors, the energy healers and the rabbis told me, you are about to know yourself in a way you have never known yourself before. They were right. And the journey was really hard and the symptoms were all neurological. They were really, really scary.
What happened to you?
Yeah, so it's an accumulation, honestly. I didn't hear the signs and I didn't know. And you can say that it's chemical and scientific. You can say there was a virus. You can say that there was a chemical imbalance. Maybe I have a genetic disposition to this weakness of mine. it was a spiritual misalignment because I didn't do a treatment. I didn't do any supplements. I didn't do anything to regain my health except go inward. And I connected with Hashem and I connected with myself and I was able to come out on the other side. But essentially, I was in a really tumultuous time in my life. And for example, my relationships, the person I came home to every single day, we are so deeply connected. And he awakened parts of me and I awakened parts of him that both of us were not ready to face yet. Those parts of me were capable of destruction if not paid attention to. It's the same with, a human. What happens when we wake up? When we wake up, we need to be fed. We need to drink. We need to go to the bathroom. We have to shower. We have to have purpose. I awoke parts of myself that needed purpose. They needed to be paid attention to. They needed nourishment.
Yes.
I avoided. And in that avoidance, I started to spiral. My anxiety was at an all-time high. My mental health was plummeting.
Physically, you were I was just not well.
I was not well, but that happened overnight. The mental and the emotional and the energetic and the spiritual commenced years and years and years before, and I didn't understand. I would come home.
This is where we connected.
Yes.
This is where we connect
Yes.
in that way
Well,
when we say.
this is why we're parallel. We are living parallel.
Totally, because, the way you felt, your body, how it ended up being physical, but it was mental before that. For me, it was definitely, I still get dizzy. We talk about this.
too.
Like when I talk about it, I get dizzy and I just get I don't know what it is. It's almost just it's almost like an out of body experience when I talk about it. Cause it's who was that person? And I just don't want that person back at all. But it's almost like I had to learn to live with that person for a little while to be here.
That's it.
So I was in a bad relationship, and this is just quick, but I was in it didn't turn out bad, or I didn't think it was bad. Have you seen the movie It Ends With Us?
I haven't seen it yet.
The whole drama, whatever. But besides the drama, I saw so much of myself in that, being that you don't think you're being mentally destructed by a person that you think loves you and that you love, right?
Right.
You don't think that a person who loves you so much could bring you down. And you also don't think that the way they're mentally affecting you can physically affect you.
Right.
So my very bad relationship that I was engaged to this man. I knew the moment he proposed, I'm like, I need to get out of this. He literally got down on one knee in Italy. And to say that I put this on my vision board, I was like, I want to get proposed to in Italy. And there was, in my picture of Italy, there was a gondola. He literally proposed on a gondola. So be careful what you put on your board. Be specific about the man that you want. I always say, design your life. Be careful what you put on that board. Be very specific about the person you want it to be with. But it was just, it was the screaming, it was the negative talk, it was the toxic, even phone calls, while being at work and just oh, you didn't say I love you. Why didn't you say I love you? And it was just holy crap,
Wow.
You are taking me away from me.
100%. I understand that.
And and I got sick. I got sick in my body. My legs, I would always tell you, my legs were always in pain. Then it ended up being in my arms. Then it was the constant anxiety.
Yeah.
Then it was, and I wasn't this person. I'm a strong person. I always go back to this. It was the darkness.
Right.
It was the darkness. It was suicidal thoughts. I remember being at home. I was moving out of my house because my thoughts were so negative that I told my mom, I need to go live with you.
Right.
I have to live with you. I'm not safe by myself. I'm not safe. And I looked out the balcony and I said, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this. And in that very moment, my therapist calls. And she goes, I felt like I had to call you right now. How are you doing? And I'm like, you just saved my life.
Can I say she also texted me in a very precarious time too?
Wow.
She's got
She
some nifty
knows,
stuff
man.
going on.
Gel Toledo, I love you. You saved my life.
No, we
straight
both
up.
we both love you.
And I started a support group with this woman, and she did something you're not supposed to do as a therapist. After the hardest time, and going to therapy every week. I'm doing all the things like you. I'm doing all of the things.
Right.
I'm exercising. I'm this till I couldn't, and my body said, no, you can't.
That's exactly what my body did.
Yeah.
My body literally broke down on me overnight.
Yeah.
It all was accumulating for so long. And I woke up one night at midnight. I will not forget. And I walked out and I had the strangest feeling I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
I've never experienced that before. And I said, something is really wrong.
Wow.
And I had a birthday dinner for the girls at Fit Shop 3 days after for Pamela. And I told her, I'm not going to make it. And they were like, how do you know? In 3 days, you'll feel fine. I said, something is actually really wrong.
Wow.
And I went to doctors and I went to urgent cares and I went to all these things.
Same.
And I was telling them something is not right. And by the third day, my right finger started twitching and I go, oh my God, something's neurologically wrong.
Wow.
And I had I had a myriad of neurological symptoms to the point where I literally, all my muscles started to atrophy. And I said, this might be it. And I went and I told two people that I love so much that if I'm not around, I have had such a fantastic life. Like I've had such beautiful moments and I feel fully developed as a person, as a being, as a soul. I feel so full of all the things that I have in my mind that it's okay. And I had to, like I
you
remember
went to that place.
I went to that place and I was in that place for a full year. It took me 18 months to be
here,
a version of me again.
Yeah.
It really did. I thought it was MS. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. And I did all the diagnostic
I thought all
testing.
of those things. All of those things. And I went to every doctor in the book and they're like, you're fine. And I'm like, but I'm not.
But
how
Baruch
can you
Hashem,
tell me I'm not?
we're fine. Baruch
We are.
Hashem.
Oh, Hashem, for sure.
I mean, this for me is, I will not take it back. I loved that girl that was so deep and dark. I loved her.
Wow.
I love all those symptoms. They made meaning of my life. My life means something to me now. I struggled in a way I didn't even know was possible. I didn't even know it existed.
I didn't know. For me, I don't think I could even get that deep to where I can appreciate her because I'm so afraid of her.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified of her in this moment. Before I even came, I said, are those symptoms available to me still?
Wow.
Yes. I still have the dizziness. I still have the vertigo. I still have the
Me
numbness
too.
and the tingling and the stiffness and the
freaking
things.
too.
And they come and they go and they come and they go. And I realized I surrendered to them. I let them speak to me.
Right.
They speak to me every day, all day. They navigate me. And it is so profound to think that the soul has no other way to speak to the body aside from symptoms.
Yeah.
So when they come, I am like, it took me a long time to get here.
Right.
But now I say thank you.
Yeah.
I say thank you with so much gratitude in my heart. I can't even tell you. Like my body is pumping with energy just thinking about this process that I went through.
Wow.
I believe that you and I are so sensitive because you and I have felt pain. And that pain, it's recognizable in everyone. For example, when I go into a room, I look at someone and I can almost see what pain they're in. And it's to the point where because I know that pain exists, I know I can experience it. When something's in your field of awareness, you look to yourself and you say, I know that I can be in pain. I know that I can be sick. I know that I can be happy. I know that I can be that successful. When you are looking at someone who's amazing and you want to be like them, you want to be like them because you know it's possible for you.
It's so wild that you say that because I am so sensitive to the point that I saw someone talking about how they had such bad migraines, such bad this, such bad, the whole day I had a migraine.
That happens to me all the time.
It's insane. And I get scared of my own self. I'm like,
me too.
How sensitive can you really be to the point where it affects you this much?
My love, we're in each other's lives because we're not alone.
Wow.
And I hope that people who are listening to this understand that you're not alone. The sensitivity is a gift. And it's something that's just saying to other, it's saying to you, basically, you're so hyper aware, you're so hyper vigilant about your surroundings, about everything in life, because you have felt the full spectrum of emotions. Emotions are energy in motion, which has run through your physical body, has run through my physical body. And I'm so happy that my soul can experience that.
I mean, I feel it right now. Like I feel it. It's it's a very strange, like I said, out of body experience.
It's palpable, 100%.
Yeah.
It's out of body sometimes. But you and I think that's why we're so sensitive to energies, because we know that they exist. We are aware of them. Like I don't look at someone, I don't see them as a person. I see them as a force of energy.
But also that we can help them.
And
I think that is
hard.
our calling. I think that being, in a sense where we do feel it so much to the point where we could take it two ways. You could take it in a negative way and just say, oh my God, X out everyone from our lives. In certain things, you have to set those boundaries. And then, or You use it as your superpower.
Yeah.
It's a total superpower.
Yeah. But you need to be strong within.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
There's boundaries to be set for sure. And 1,000%. I'm learning that now, but I used to not need them. I'll tell you that much. I used to be a lot stronger.
Me too.
Like you could give me anything. I'll take it on. I am like a sponge. I will suck it all up and then I'll just drain it all out. I don't have that same sponge anymore.
I want to reframe that for you. It's not that you were stronger. You're the same strength, if not stronger now. You were less aware, you were less conscious.
Wow.
When you come into your consciousness, when you awaken things within, like I said earlier, you have to face those parts of you. When you face parts of you that are painful, you become aware that pain exists. And that pain in other people is now in your field of spectrum. Wow. You feel it, you know it because you know it in yourself.
Totally.
So yeah, our sensitivity, it's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. I'm Sarah Akiba and you're listening to That's So Akiba. You can subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you choose to listen in, and stay tuned. Follow me on @SoAkiba on socials. I want to go back to Jael Toledo in that one moment because there was such a message there. In therapy, she literally goes to me, she says, Sarah, off record, you're not paying me for this session. I'm talking to you like my sister. Get the out of this relationship.
Oh.
Legally, I don't even think she could do that, honestly. Like, she's like off record. She's like, I can probably you can fire me for this as your therapist. Like, you need to get out. You're getting sick. She goes, go sit in your car and ask God. And that's what I love. She always brings God in. And like, I'm so faith-based, as are you.
Yes.
She said, ask God for the message because now I don't have another message for you. I'm telling you what to do. Now ask God. I was supposed to get on a flight to Paris that night to go see him. He lived in Paris. I lived here. And it was his 30th birthday, so it was like a big deal if I missed it. And I get in the car and I said, God, I need you. I don't want to go to Paris and I need a sign. Like, what do I do? You know, I don't want to get on this flight. Literally that second, I get a notification. Your Air France flight has been canceled. That never happens. Delayed, maybe. Canceled, never. And that moment, I literally ran back in her house. I knock on the door. I go, Yael, look at this. Look at it got canceled. She goes, if this isn't your sign, my love, what will be? And yes, it took time after that to like get over it.
Yeah.
But I knew it was over for me. I knew that it would take time going back and forth and this and that. Like I knew that I had to heal. I had to heal. It was so dark. And she was so afraid for me that it's time to get on medication. And that for me, I don't take Advil for anything when I have a headache. I'm not as holistic as you, I would say. Like I still eat candy at night because I love it so much. And like Milano cookies. But I won't take medicine if I don't need to. I know that I could push through. And I told her, I said, no, I know I can do this on my own.
Amen.
I know that it's not medicine. I know I could do this on my own. I know it. That's when I went to God. I know.
It's parallel.
And I want to hear your side of that. How did you lean on God in these moments?
This is the most exhilarating part of the last 2 years for me. After doctor, after rabbi, after energy healer, after all of that, I sat in my room and I became paranoid. And I said, I can't trust anybody. I literally don't trust anyone because they don't know me actually in totality, in entirety.
The paranoia is so scary.
It's really scary.
That was, I was
Extremely.
there. I used to think people were following me. I couldn't go in my car at night. I can't drive at night still because I get nervous.
I'm the same. I don't leave my house after night. Also, I don't think there's like anything very holy after night. So I'd rather be home.
I'm with you on that.
The sunshine is for me
I will
the best
say,
way.
Though, this past Saturday night, I went out till 6 a.m. And you know what kept me out? The people that surrounded me.
Yeah, because they brought you the light.
Yes,
they were the light.
That's how important the people around you are.
1,000%. I always
say they either bring you down or up.
I always say, if you jump in the pool and you're wet and you come hug me, you're gonna get me wet.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I there was a synagogue downstairs and it's a Russian synagogue. I don't know anyone. I don't speak Russian. It's Ashkenazi. I was practicing Sephardic. And I'm like, I've never been to really a synagogue. On Saturday, I go to yoga, I go to the farmer's market, and I do all of those sorts of things. So I was so sick that I said, if I don't trust anyone, it's God. That's it. but I didn't even really know what was God when I said this. I was about to find out, but I didn't know. And so I decided that Shabbat I would go, and I would go to synagogue. And I've been Shomer Shabbat now ever since. It's been almost 2 years. And Shabbat has saved me. And I don't mean this from a religious standpoint. I mean this in the fact that I spent almost a year in solitude and in silence. It was my SSRI. Solitude, silence, removal of Instagram, and intention with self and Hashem. Like I think about, and I created this on my own, and I think about it all the time because I literally do what's called hitbodedut. It's when you have meditation with Hashem and you speak to him every day for like an hour. So it took me a really long time, like 8 months, because I was blaming myself. I said, I made myself sick. My childhood did this, my tumultuous, imbalance and my misalignment, my spiritual misalignment. This is my fault. It's a pathogen. I have to be scared of the universe now, of everything. This is, And I came to a point after listening to Gedalia Fenster every morning, and after listening to Daily Bitachon by Michael Safdie.
Love him.
I came to a point where I said, wait a minute. I am not in control of any of this. I have no control of my outcome. I have no control of this sickness. And I surrendered to it. Everything changed from there. I realized there was a higher purpose to everything. And even if it was MS, even if it was something bad, even if it was going to destroy a part of the old me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I know that there's meaning and purpose to this, and it's going to make me me.
What you were meant to be here.
100%.
When you trust, for me, it's been a minute since I've felt prayer. It's funny, you always lean on prayer when you need it most.
Yes.
When you call on God and say, I'm in the worst place, I need you. But then when you're in a good place, you forget to give gratitude to the Most High. Right?
Not anymore. Not after this.
Right. And what a reminder for me even now, I used to pray every single morning and just give thanks. And now I do it sometimes and not sometimes, but I never want to forget that moment. And I love what you just said. I have a hard time with meditating, just time.
Yeah.
But I love what you just said about meditating for 1 hour to Hashem. I think I could do that and resonate to that.
You speak.
You just speak. Exactly.
You speak
I love
like
that.
it's your friend. I speak to him like it's my friend. I tell him all the things I did that day, all the things that went kind of sideways, all the things that felt good. And I want to say that it has become a practice. And what is the difference between doing something that you want to do and a practice? You do the practice even when you don't want to, even when you're dizzy, even when you're nauseous, even when you're in a bad mood, even when someone really upset you, the practice is a non-negotiable. And so every day you're in that practice.
So good. Tell me one strong moment you've had with God. Just one.
Oh, wow. He sent me signs. He literally hit me upside the head with a I don't know if there's this prayer that I've been saying now since the day that I got sick. It's called the Nishmat. It's a miracle prayer, and you say it for 40 days, and at the end of the 40 days, apparently your miracle gets answered in some way or another. Wow. So I started screaming out loud every day, please God help me, please God help me, please God help me. Do you know what I was saying? God is everything. We are God. We are someone. We are some of the one. We are a masterpiece. We are a piece of the master. We're literally a part of God. God is us. I was talking to myself every day, asking myself to be okay, to help me. I was asking to help myself. That was the miracle. Anyway, one day, there was a decision I needed to make. I had been saying Nishmat every single day. I'm sitting in my den on the floor, and I decided to pick up a bag that had all of the memories of the things I was doing before I got sick. I was a holistic health practitioner. I had all of my clients' information in there. I had my yoga sequences because I was teaching yoga, and I had my journals, and I had all of my research. I didn't want to look at that bag. I was so angry at that bag. I felt like that bag failed me. And I decided I'm going to pick it up. So I'm sitting on the floor, and I opened it, and all of a sudden something just hits me in the head. And I look at it, it's in Hebrew. I don't read Hebrew, I read in English. So I sent my friend a message. I'm like, what is this? What prayer just fell on my head? It's from Rabbi Pinto, which I love Rabbi Pinto.
Yes, me too.
Okay. She goes, that's the Nishmat, my love. This moment with God,
oh my God,
was like, I hear you, I see you. And what I realized is like, I'm seeing a reflection of my own power in this moment. It was amazing.
This makes me emotional just because I just feel like we try to control so much in life, and what a reminder of how important God is in our life and faith. What an important reminder.
Yeah.
And for me, I'll tell you like my big aha moment, which I told you the other day. I was at my lowest low. I'm 30 years old, turning 31. I'm living in my mom's house again, after living alone since I'm 21, like taking care of myself. In the worst place of my life, the darkest place of my life, suicidal, like I said, my body's completely broken down. And I go to temple on my own. Like you said, I synagogue I've never been to, Ashkenazi, I'm raised Sephardic, I'm Moroccan, And I just go, I say, you know what, I'm gonna keep Yom Kippur, I'm gonna go on my own, I just wanna go. And the rabbi decides to give a sermon on suicide. He tells the story of a cop that reads a letter of a guy that just committed suicide. They go in his house after, find out who it is, whatever, and they read a letter, and the man literally wrote, if somebody smiles at me or waves at me or just says hello to me on the way, I'll turn around, I won't jump. No one did. When the rabbi said this sermon to me, and I'm telling you, I'm in this synagogue, never been in this synagogue, I am pouring in tears. And I'm like, if this isn't God speaking to me right now, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
He saved me. This rabbi, without knowing it, saved me.
And you also saved yourself.
Yeah, I guess just by going. But isn't that God?
Because you went.
Yeah, I went. But like God, something pushed me to go. And I'll say it's my dad or whatever it is. But I knew I needed something bigger.
Yes.
I knew I needed something bigger. And crazy full circle moment, right? This rabbi has no idea. And now I'm getting married and I need a rabbi to marry us. And Adam and I don't have a rabbi at all. And I go to him. I go, I think I know the rabbi that needs to marry us. And I call this rabbi up, Rabbi Mendel, and I say, I know you don't know us. He goes, I don't really do weddings. I'm like, well, I think you should do mine. Here's why. So we show up and I tell him the story, and I'm hysterical again because I'm in this temple that I haven't been back to since then. And I'm telling him, you saved me. You called to me on that day. And he's like, wow, I have to marry you guys. We'll somehow implement the Sephardic tradition, whatever. But just to say that, what a full circle moment and how God is so present in our lives.
Yeah.
In sickness and in health, that is first with God.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I want to close this off with struggle, superpower. Your biggest struggle, how did it turn into your superpower?
I would definitely say my biggest struggle was knowing all of the bina, all of the insight and the intel, but not being aligned to myself and not even realizing it. And now my biggest superpower is that I am in full pursuit of alignment between the creator, the source, the most magical, abundant life, force that there is, and myself. I want to be a channel, a stream, a conduit for all of that. Like that for me will forever be my biggest superpower. So long as I am divinely connected and I am acting in my godliness and in my truth, that's it. That's all I need in life. And if I go through things again, I have that spirit about me. My light was dim for so long because that spiritual part of me was lost. And when you come to stillness, when you come to being one with yourself and God again, you will find redemption. You will find who you are supposed to be. And it's going to happen again and again and again. And you will shed layers of yourself and you will come out on the other side. And there will be this magnificent light about you. Wow. And that's what I see in you. And that's what I want for everyone.
Oh my God. I love you. I have to hug you because this is just like we fucking did it.
We really
we're
did.
Alive.
We're alive and we're in this moment.
Yeah, we're alive. We made it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love you.
This.
I love this.
You're a light.
This was fantastic. You gave me a little bit of a space to have my power back, so thank you.
Yeah. You are the power, though. You are. Love you.
Love you.
Wow. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to That's So Akiba podcast. We are on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can watch it, you can listen to it. And I'm so happy to have you guys here. Follow me on @Akiba on socials.